What's going on, everybody? This is State of the WWE. This is youtube.com/Joe Cronin Show. That's Daniel Bryan in the middle of me and Chris Tosevich, and we're getting ready for a sandwich, a sex one. All right, enough of that. This is State of the WWE episode number 17 on youtube.com/Joe Cronin Show. As always, pretty much, I'm joined by Chris Tosevich. What's going on? You're right next to Daniel Bryan's nipples.
17. We're almost legal.
Oh, man. I didn't know you were going to say that. That was great. I'll give you a pat on the back. Wait till we get to episode number 69. That's the one. Like that's the one when things are going to get a little strange, I think. But anyway, we're catching up to my age almost. Like eventually we're going to be, State of the WWE will be older than us, I think. Anyway, so rest in peace, Mae Young. That happened. Got to get that out of the way, you poor lady. Where do we want to start? I have no idea, and I didn't
start with that. You lead with the saddest story we have.
It's a happy
Mae Young's dead. Moving on.
It's a happy one though. You know, you
should at least play a sad song in memoriam.
Away. Let the birds. Like she's up now with her and Moolah are together. You know what I mean?
Like a candle on a dove.
Yeah. And it seemed to me you lived your life like a candle in the wind. All right. I'm going to get sued probably or something for that. How much
there you go. Or at least we gave her something.
How much can I sing of that before it's illegal or whatever, before I get monetized? Anyway, so let's talk about Evan Bourne coming back.
Yeah.
Because he's coming back from probably, they say at the Rumble. That's a weird time. Maybe he'll come back. Do you think at the Rumble he'll come back?
I'm hoping he will. They said Justin Gabriel is not, or he said he's not going to be in the Rumble, and then Evan Bourne apparently is training to get back in the ring for the Rumble, which is kind of weird because Gabriel's fine.
It is weird that Gabriel. I mean, I guess are they doing? You know, here's a question.
Didn't Evan Bourne have like foot aids or something?
He had something horrific happen with him, and not only that, but you know, I think he had a concussion. He had an injury. Like multiple things are going on with him. I thought, and then he also tore his foot. Yeah, a high ankle tear or something, right?
It's like dropping a crash dummy from the flight of stairs.
Yeah, that's what happened. Now, how many people are going to be in the Rumble? Is it 30 again? Is it back to 30 and not 40?
Yeah, I miss 40 though. 40 was a great year. That was really, really cool of them to do.
Yeah, they should bring back 40.
I don't think they have enough worthy talent without it looking padded for 40.
Yeah, and it starts to get like everything else where it's like, you know...
Unless they wanted to pull a thing for someone like pulling a Kane, beating Kane's record, and just have a bunch of people in there so they could toss them out, you know?
Yeah.
Throw in like 3MB and everyone just so they can be chucked out by like, I don't know, fucking
I
Brock
thought they
Lesnar
did
or
40
Ryback.
for years, though. I thought they did 40 for like quite a few years.
It was just 1 year, wasn't it?
I thought it was like 5 years, but I could be crazy. You know what? Maybe I'm just thinking of the clock. Maybe I'm thinking of the timer because they changed the timer. It was every minute, and now it's every like minute and what, 30 seconds or some shit, some weird thing. It is better though when they delay it a little bit and they get it more build. You can have 30 guys and have 2-minute entries. You know, every 2 minutes someone comes in, so I don't mind that. I think Evan Bourne coming back will be exciting. Some people, there may be a generation of people who just started watching wrestling about a year ago. They don't even know who he is. It's amazing to think he's been gone so damn long.
40-man Rumble was 2011, and it was the only 40-man Rumble.
Okay, so you're right. I think I'm thinking of the time.
Yeah.
The time change or the amount, you know, where it was every minute. And it's been more than that for probably 8 years then or more. Right? They probably changed that back in like 2000, 2002.
I think they kind of shake that up every Rumble.
All right, so we don't really know what's going to happen with that.
Yeah.
I could do the research and look that stuff up. I just don't care. But that's the honest
This
truth.
isn't that kind of show.
This is not
This
that
isn't
kind
the sports
of show.
coma.
No. We're not going to bed in New Jersey tonight.
Sports Coma would have a big book out by now and be thumbing through it.
Do you think that I mean, I'm worried that WWE, you know, we talk about CM Punk versus Randy Orton. I'm getting a little worried that it's going to be Triple H versus Randy Orton at WrestleMania. You ever think about that?
Point.
Like, that hasn't really happened.
That's got to boil over at some point, and if not Mania, then when? unless the night after.
Because, I mean, it's real weird with how Triple H treats Orton. It's almost like he's like, you're the golden boy. You're going to be the guy. But then he talks about Randy not doing enough, and they kind of crap on him. It's like a joke.
Like a prized dog.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's still a dog.
It's just weird what they did with him. It doesn't make any sense, really. Like, unless now they just know he's not the guy. He's not the guy now. It
almost seems like Triple H is just like, you know what? I can't book myself to win the title, so you're going to win the title in my stead.
Right. But then he says, you're an idiot, Randy, and
right.
I don't think you're going to make this. And it's like, well, but it doesn't make any sense what they're doing. His Triple H's character now is just so confusing, which is, I guess, okay. Because you don't know if he's a heel, a good guy, is he sneak? What's he doing? He's every second you're not sure what's going on with him, which I guess is okay because we've seen both other ways, and now we're seeing this hybrid thing that I'm not sure what to do with, so I can't blame him.
We've already had a vote of no confidence in this guy, and somehow he's still around calling the shots without anything changing.
Yeah, it doesn't make... Well, that was the other character, I guess.
But at the same time, like, he was like, all right, vote of no confidence, I'm done. And then, like, he just showed up one day and was like, yeah, well, let's pretend that never happened. Like, but how do you just come back like that? It's like getting fired and then just showing up back at work 3 months later and just like it never happened and start getting a paycheck again.
Yeah. Well, it's just like the Big Show's ironclad contract, of course.
Well, he's fiscally irresponsible, though.
Oh, yeah. I bet he is. Well, look at how big he is. Well, that's a pituitary thing, but... Who cares? Anyway, let's. So there we go. So we got past Evan Bourne's coming back. Yay! I don't think. So people keep asking me about Chris Jericho. I really think. I would think that Chris Jericho would come to the Rumble. Just he may do one of those things where he shows up at the Rumble, just to be in the Rumble, and then he doesn't come back again for a while.
Sure. Yeah. Why not?
The only thing is when he usually shows up again, it's a big to do when he comes back. And it's almost like now that's his thing, where whenever he comes back, it's a big build-up. So that's the only thing that makes me kind of think maybe he won't be at the Rumble, because every time he comes back, they do some kind of build-up thing for him.
That's true.
And so...
Well, no, that's not true. He was the big surprise either this past Rumble or the one before that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He was the big, huge surprise.
Well, this year he definitely won't be a big, huge surprise, but he'll be some more frosting on the cake if he shows up.
Frosting on the cake.
Hulk Hogan shows up. How about that?
Stop saying that.
All right, so let's just talk about Daniel Bryan because that's all I can think about. We were gonna tease Daniel Bryan.
Before we get to that, let's talk about JR's podcast.
All right, we'll talk about.
Excited.
I
am excited as hell for
later.
JR's podcast. He's the one out of everyone who needs a podcast, if anything else.
Yeah, well, Stone Cold has one, so now he has one. So maybe the
Stone
both
Cold's
of them
is
could have
okay,
one.
but have you listened to it?
I have, yeah. I don't know. I didn't have a problem with it really.
It's got a little bit of a Larry the Cable Guy vibe to it. Like when he's interviewing people, it's great. But when he's trying to do like that banter in the beginning with his production staff, and he's like, oh, I was out on the ranch the other night and I farted and then my beer spilled all over my overalls and because I'm a working man, my hands were dirty.
Yeah, you're right. I know what you're saying. So most of the things I've heard from are the interview stuff. So I like that. I like when he's talking between with someone else, or he's talking to somebody else, that's enjoyable, which is usually the opposite. It's usually other people are funny, but they're bad interviewers. But him, it's interesting to listen to him talking to somebody.
He's a great interviewer. He knows the business. He knows what questions to ask, how far to go without pissing off Vince McMahon.
Exactly. But like you said, I missed out on that other stuff. So I don't like that other stuff. I didn't like his speech at the network thing. I mean, that seemed bizarre.
Very forced.
Yeah, it was like he was forced to do this. They were like, here's $1 million. Just come out here and say something nice. And he was in the back, like drinking, clearly, like just where's the Jameson and the food back here. Oh, here it is. Oh, hey, you're on Stone Cold. Oh, what? And he's trying to sip down the last of whatever he can get that's free. And then he just goes out there, and he almost had a problem talking, but he got through it.
Right.
It was just all this generic, hell yeah, and blah, blah, blah. And
he had, like, no emotion either.
Yeah, he just didn't. What happened? What happened
Open
to him?
bar.
Yeah, that's all he cares about now, it seems like. Yeah, what's weird about that, though, is he was so good on Tough Enough. He was so interesting. And that show was awesome. The fact that they didn't bring it back like 6 months later with another round, They should just do Tough Enoughs every 6 months with Stone Cold and Bill DeMont and somebody else. Whatever.
That would be awesome. I would watch that.
The whole thing was awesome. I'd watch it again. But I'll watch that same Tough Enough again. That's their best Tough Enough that they did with Stone Cold. Why can't they do it again? Why? And the other thing about it, too, is, the ending, with what happened with the dude, it seemed like this great story, and his kid and all that stuff, and he made it. And then it's like the dude screws himself, just throws it away.
Yeah.
Because I don't know what he was doing. He was doing drugs or steroids, or I don't know what he was doing. I forget what happened, but he screwed it up. That's what I understand. But it's almost like they picked him to win just so they didn't have to deal with him. All these contests are like this.
Yeah. Name one successful winner.
Right. And it's not that they couldn't find someone this way, it seems like. It just seems like they just set it up to fail.
Even The Miz lost, didn't he? Get second place or something?
Well, that's I guess there's where the enigma is, because The Miz made it. So I'm wrong.
But didn't he not win though?
Well, yes, you're right. He didn't win, but the thing is, he's there now.
Right.
Like, every other one of those contests, like be a baseball player, even the Bruins had Be a Bruin in like 2003 or 4 or whatever year it was, and they had all these people try out for the Bruins. None of those people ever went anywhere. They've had other things for Be a DJ. 98.5, the Sports Hub, just had a thing for like be an announcer on the station or the radio, whatever. You get paid, and they had all these things, and you'll be on the show. And I've never heard the guy who won one time. He's gone, from what I understand. So what the hell happened there? How did he win? You know? So, I go down there. Why couldn't I be on the air? And from what I heard, he sounded ridiculously stupid. Like, it didn't even sound, I don't know if he sounded stupid, but he sounded goofy. But he won. But then the serious people, some of the guys who sounded like they could have been on the channel, didn't win, but this guy won. So it was almost a big publicity thing. It was
publicity thing when it
it
comes
was
to the radio.
a self-fulfilling advertisement for their own show with sponsors, and they purposely picked a guy who couldn't win so that they didn't have to pay him. And then they'd be like, sorry, it's not working out, but you won.
Oh, here's your chance. Oh, sorry, everyone hates you. We don't know why. We just picked the most hateable person.
Yeah, it's all rigged, and that's what it seems like, and that's what it all is. It's free talent. Especially those shows if they don't pay you anything. Some of those competition shows, they pay you little to nothing.
Yeah.
And they get you on TV, so they get free actors, and they pay all the production.
They get an intern.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
Become an intern.
I understand that the people like I'll use this because I don't watch a lot of reality shows, but say something like, well, obviously like Bar Rescue they get paid because they're John Taffer, but all the people in the bar, they get their bar rescued, or they get $30,000 put into renovating it. So that's a deal. But people like, say, King of the Nerds on TBS, like that contest, they got paid for that. That was a competition for this show where a bunch of nerdy people, they put them in a house, and, they go through these competitions and stuff like that. And the girl that won was really just played a lot of video games, and that was about it. It was really weird that she won. Then they had like a physicist and other people, and none of them won. I don't know what's... See, well, this is a whole nother discussion. Let's not get into it.
What kind of contests? Are they like spaghetti eating contests?
Yeah, like, all right,
or like, build a robot?
How much weight can you put on this glass? With this, and this number of stuff like that. Or here's Super Mario Brothers. Who can win? Stuff like that. Like who can make their airplane go the furthest? Little competitions.
Terrible.
Using a remote controlled airplane to like carry something. Weird things like that. I'm explaining it terribly, but they had all these bizarre little competitions. Okay. I just watched the show, so, and they got paid a little bit, and the winner got $100,000 or something like that. So, I believe so that's something that made sense. But what happened on Tough Enough? Everybody cried and went through all this crap, and for nothing. So, I don't know. There's no guarantee. There's no guarantee in that stuff. Anyway, what were we talking about originally? What the hell happened?
JR's podcast. It's going to be great. Don't know what it's going to be called. Don't know where to find it, but look for it and get it.
Yeah, JR's podcast. Well, we can go to his website, right? Which is, Jesus, I don't even remember his website or his blog. He's got all that stuff.
His website is google.com, and then you type in his name, and then there you have it.
And then it comes up, and you buy some of his barbecue sauce, which is always for sale on his website, right? If I remember, because I used to go to him all the time and read on him.
It's a slobber knocker. I highly recommend it, having never tasted it.
Man, it'll make you poop.
I got some ghost chili hot sauce.
Oh, really?
It's pretty extreme. It's 800,000 Scoville units.
He's also ooh.
It's pretty bad.
He's also got beef jerky.
I had some alligator jerky in Louisiana when I was there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, tasted really strange.
I had alligator once. It just tasted like chicken.
Yeah. It didn't taste like. It tasted like, I don't know. It's just like a reptile. It tasted like how I would imagine a reptile to taste.
Oh, I want to get some of that then. I want to try that.
Pretty good.
Anyway, guys, it's youtube.com/Joe Cronin Show. I am hours away, I believe, hopefully this time, from having another baby, from having a baby. So I'll be at the hospital for like days. So we figured we'd do this, and you can leave comments below about what you can guess the weight of my child. I'm saying 7 pounds 3 ounces. I know some sicko's going to guess 6 pounds 9 ounces, but but I'm saying 7'3". So there you go.
Also, you can name Joe Cronin's baby.
Yeah.
If you'd like, just put the name down there, and if it's funny enough, he'll put it on the birth certificate. And
what I will do is I'll make a T-shirt and I'll put it on her. So if you can think of the name, write it down in the comment section below. Also guess the weight. And I'm gonna go 7 pounds 3 ounces. That's my official guess. And click the like button and put that thumb where the sun don't shine. See that big thumb? Click the like button. Stick it up there. Share this on YouTube, on Twitter, on Facebook. Share it on Facebook all over the place. Facebook would really help because we don't get enough shares on Facebook. So go on your Facebook and paste this all over your friends and make sick comments about it and send it to everybody you know and harass everybody, and let's just get these subscribers up.
If you don't lose at least one Facebook friend, you didn't do it right.
Yeah, you find out who your real friends are. And you don't want friends who don't like what you like, so
right.
This will help you sort them out a little bit better. Let's talk
If your friends don't like us, then they are not good people, and you shouldn't be associating yourself with them.
And they should die. Let's talk about Daniel Bryan and his injury.
Yes.
He's got a problem. We have a problem. Let's watch this growing problem. Here he comes. Daniel Bryan just taking over the screen right now. Daniel Bryan has a concussion. Daniel Bryan has a
Did you prepare that song beforehand?
No, I didn't. It just came up. Just came out of nowhere.
It wasn't off a soundboard or anything?
Daniel Bryan has a concussion. Right as he gets his big push, Daniel Bryan has a concussion. Everybody, gather round, listen to us. He's got a concussion. All right, I don't know what that was. But Daniel Bryan has a severe concussion, which is a problem. Maybe some of you metalheads would be like, concussion. I can't do that anymore. I used to be able to scream. But no, really, seriously, this is messed up.
Yeah, this sucks.
Is he going to miss the Rumble? Is he going to miss the Elimination Chamber? Jesus jumping flying shit. Is he going to miss WrestleMania? That's what we don't want to happen out of all those things. If he misses WrestleMania, all this build-up, SummerSlam, trying to cool the jets to build them up again, my God, we're in trouble. If after 2 weeks he feels better, it's usually 2 weeks. It's 1 week, and after that, if things haven't gone away, you're a little worried. After 2 weeks, you're really worried, and because you can get into 3 months, into 6 months, into a year, into more.
They said his concussion was severe. That's the word they chose.
That's not good. That means he's experiencing symptoms now still.
This is literally the worst thing that could possibly happen at this moment to Daniel Bryan in his career.
When I had my concussion in February, and I still have something going on, I swear to God to you, something wrong because of it still. But when I had mine, like 3 months later, if you told me jump up and land on, like just jump up and down, I would be like, I don't want to do that. I can't do that. I don't want to do that. I don't know what type of thing he has, if it's whiplash and concussion or just a concussion by itself. You saw that night, I hit myself in the face with something, and I threw my head back, and I was all messed up because of it. But that was my neck. But if it's just a concussion, okay. But even that, you can start running, and you can feel, you can just go right back into it.
You could feel great and still pass and still fail the test.
Yeah,
that's the other thing. What's the test called? Do you remember?
I don't remember what it is, but it's I will say the brain is bizarre.
Impact
Impact testing.
testing.
Right. That's right. So I mean, he can jump up and down. You'll know. You will know when you have a concussion about this stuff. There's different symptoms. Is he seeing lights? Is he forgetting things? Is he getting dizzy? Is he tired? Is he sensitive to heat and cold? I was sensitive to warmth. Whenever it got past 80 degrees, I felt nauseous. And that was 5 months late. That was up until it got cold in October. I was like, thank God it's cold out. And now it's cold out, I have sinus issues. So, I mean, all these things, and you really worry about that. But he could come out of it in 2 weeks. If he's like a hockey player who gets one that's not too severe, he can come out in 2 weeks. But that impact you put on the mat, that flailing and that smashing and that bump you take on the mat, I mean, your whole brain is shaking around in your head every time you do these things.
Yeah, even if he does come back, are we going to see him at 100% for what are supposed to be some of the best matches of his career?
Now, if he starts feeling slightly better or good enough where he doesn't feel there's anything wrong but they want to take it easy, I don't see why he couldn't be in the Rumble, because you don't have to take huge power bombs and bumps really in the Rumble. He can, flip someone out of the ring. He can be moving around quite a bit without taking a huge impact.
But if he has to pass that test...
Well, that's if he passes the test.
Yeah.
But even when you pass a test, it's all about feeling better, too. In your own,
right.
Because your brain is... The fight or flight thing takes over. I swear to God, that's what most of it is. Is your brain...
I think the test is so sensitive these days to where if you feel good, you'll probably pass it. If you feel bad, you'll probably fail it. So
yeah. And you'll know right away. I mean, you will know. That's it. If you do something, you'll immediately know if you can do it or not. And you have to give it a full week. You have to have a whole week because you can feel okay for 2 days and then it comes back. Mine was a loop, like a loop. And the loop got shorter and shorter the more I rested. For 7 days I feel terrible. For 1 day I felt great. You
actually went back in time.
For 6 days I felt horrible. For 2 days I felt great. For 5 days I felt horrible. For 4 days I felt great. And it just gets kind of better and better. That's how it happened for me, into where I'm pretty sure I'm almost back to normal. I don't know, buddy. It's right there. So we don't know what's going to happen. This is throwing a monkey in the wrench, like beyond belief. You know what I mean? I mean, this is throwing the yeah, whatever. I have a concussion, see? It's just messing this whole thing. The whole thing up. The predictions we had, especially the one I had, which 6 months ago I said he's winning the Rumble. Now it's possible he might not win the Rumble. He may have to win at Elimination Chamber to be the champion in order to go to WrestleMania. But why would he go there with the belt? So if he doesn't win at Rumble, I mean, I suppose you can make Elimination Chamber. They could change it and make it to be the person who goes to the Rumble, and maybe the guy who won the Rumble says, you know what, I want to use I don't want to challenge for the title. I want the Undertaker or something like that. You know, whoever won the Rumble or whatever.
But that's like you said, it's a monkey in the wrench. It really is.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense, right? So I don't know what they're going to do, but this is a mess. All we can hope for is that, and are they going to let us know? We don't know that either. Are we going to get more word on that? All we know is he has a concussion and it's severe. We don't know if something's going to change, if they'll update us on it. Maybe I'm sure they'll say we'll know whether he's in the Rumble or not, and that's going to be the answer. That's the answer if he's not in the Rumble. So we'll have to wait until the Rumble. We'll have to wait until the Rumble. I don't know when this could be announced. I mean, you're talking about the Royal Rumble. It's January 15th right now. We've got 10 days and 22 hours. He got this concussion on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Today's Wednesday, right? So that's about 14. Oh, it's about 12, 13 days. That's about the minimum.
I don't see him.
You need 2 weeks. You need 2 weeks. If it's you need first. It's
not going to be 2 weeks though.
When I talked to the doctor, and they told me, they didn't say mild because they weren't sure what I had because nobody knew what was going on. But okay. I'm pretty sure I had a fairly severe concussion, like not maybe somewhere in between mid and severe.
And in 13 days from then, would you have been able to pass? You assume the test?
No.
Okay, right.
I would have been. But here's the thing about concussions. They can say severe, they can say mild, they can say whatever they want. But the bottom line is, you can feel terrible for the first week, and it can go away that week. At the end of that week, it can be gone. You can, because even the doctor said this. You can have a very severe concussion, And, hopefully, if that's what you had, in a week, you'll feel better. Some people
The question is, though, when do they give him the impact test? And then, obviously, after they give him that test, you can't just take it every day. They probably have to say, come back in this amount of time and take it again.
Right.
So
I would
that's
give
the other
it,
question.
The update would be this Monday. Before
he
this,
he could fail the test, feel fine on the night of the Rumble, and not be able to compete.
That's right.
And not be able to take the test again until like a week after that or something.
That's right. That's right. It's all going to be about the test.
It's all red tape and bureaucracy and fucking medical science.
He'll probably
and
have
violence. It's all. This is a tough one.
He may have to pass multiple ones. A lot of times they'll give you a test, see how you feel. Say, okay, see how you feel the next couple days. Give you another test, and they'll give you another test. They'll give you three of them.
And then they give you a cookie.
And then they give you a cookie with milk from some woman who has breast milk, like right from her tit.
She worked at the nipple factory.
Yeah. This stuff's worth a lot of money. I'm trying to get Leah to just pump this out so we can eBay it, because I'm seeing this stuff on eBay for a lot of money.
So you are going to work at a nipple factory.
Right. It's at my house.
Our test earlier wasn't just a joke. It was your future career.
It's a great one, too. I mean, if you can keep that breast milk pumping for like 3 years, I mean, you got yourself a fucking business, my friend. That's $20,000 a year.
And all the milk you can drink.
Right. I bet you it's $20,000 a year you could do if you could pump that milk. Now your tits would turn up, into deflated balloons, probably.
They would kind of look like a peach that you left out for 3 weeks after it started to grow mold.
But if it really bothered you, for 1/3 of the money you made back on the milk on eBay, I'm pretty sure you could get those babies plastic surgery.
Just stick a straw in them and...
Oh, blow them up, yeah. Make them bigger and then tight. Yeah. And you never do it
tie
again.
Tie the nipples off at the end to keep the air inside.
And then every July, when you're sitting on a rowboat and the wind breezes ever so softly and blows your hair, you'll get that slight, brisk flash of nostalgia about the time you spent 3 years breastfeeding and selling it on eBay and making $60,000 in 3 years.
And if
you got breast implants.
It will sound like a drum.
Yeah. And you got breast implants, too.
Yeah.
And then someday when you're like 70 and you get them removed because it hurts, and your tits look like, you know what I mean, an insanely huge nutsack.
And your vagina looks like a tuna casserole.
This is that sponsorship stuff that we were talking about earlier, I think. Why can't we get sponsored? Oh, it all sounds great until they listen to the whole show. How about... What is happening? I just can't believe Daniel Bryan. What do you guys think about this? Do you think he's going to make the Rumble? Do you think he's going to make it to Elimination Chamber? I mean, do you think this is some kind of lie? I mean, do you think this is some kind of thing where they're trying to make him look good or something? And he's, you know what I mean? But if they did that, they would have probably shown him holding his head. Because people this morning were saying, I think it's all just a work, and they're just saying that to.
Could be a work,
but why would it be? Why wouldn't he bring attention to it that night? Like, oh, my head, and roll around. Or did they think that would be then seeming like a work? So instead, they announce it later without it seeming like anything happened.
Or was he trying to hide it?
Maybe. I'm going back tonight to watch it. As soon as we're done with this, I'm going to go watch it again and see if I can notice when the hell this happens. And you know what? If he misses stuff because of this and it's real, fucking want to kill the WWE for this stupid Wyatt angle. Like, what the hell? If we never had Bray stupid Wyatt, who can't wrestle, is annoying when he acts. I wish he should be at a zoo with his fist inside of an elephant. That's how goofy he is. Like, what
kind of zoos do you go to?
I go to New Hampshire zoos. It gets weird there. Yeah, I just picture him like putting his arm inside of animals to like clean their asses or something. Like he's a stupid, like he's like the lowest totem pole of an animal doctor. You know what I mean? Like he's not the guy.
Rectum brusher.
Yeah, he's just the brusher, right? He brushes the elephant's testicles. That's what he does. I can't stand Bray Wyatt. He can't wrestle. Somebody the other night said, "Oh, they won't let him wrestle." I don't think so. I think he just sucks. How about that? I think Bray Wyatt sucks. I think his acting is annoying. The only thing that they've done right so far is the funny-ass thing that when they threw Bryan off that thing in the background, but then Bray Wyatt, like, and he got right in front of the camera, and none of it looked real.
What about his crab walk?
And I don't like... Don't like it anymore. I never really did, actually. It was kind of cool the first time, like, oh, what's he doing? But he's so goofy. I hate this choreography that's going on. There's nothing different to me from Bray Wyatt to the friggin' Rhinoceros or whatever the hell Brodus Clay is being called, or was being called before they did whatever they did with him. Where you come out, you do the dance, you make these mannerisms, you do all these gestures, and now you're the Funkasaurus, and you got the dancers, and it's all just so choreographed.
Yeah. I'll give you that. It's getting really choreographed.
But at least Brodus Clay actually kind of still acts like a monster when he talks. So he actually still acts like a bad dude when he talks, but he doesn't have some goofy. Well, but he was at the beginning, like, okay, baby, oh blah 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 blah, like that type of stuff. That's what Bray Wyatt's doing, like, oh, my child, Abigail, blah, 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 blah. What the fuck are you talking about?
I still like him, man. I still like him.
I hate him. I can't stand it. It takes me all out. It takes me out of it. It takes me out of the whole thing. Like, oh, yeah, this isn't real. I forgot. But when The Undertaker was doing stuff back in the day, it wasn't cheesy like that for the most part. I mean,
well, he buried someone alive, or got buried alive, I should say.
Well, I guess Paul Bear was kind of like that, was kind of like cheesy like that. Something, yeah. Because he's like he's over the top. He used to be over the top sometimes, where it was like
he was over the fucking top.
He's being a little too weird, and it's taking me out of it a little bit. But the Undertaker was so good that didn't matter, because the Undertaker.
Plus, Percy Pringle looked creepy enough to where you bought his cartoonish character because he looked like a cartoon character.
Yeah. Why can't Bray Wyatt just be like, we're sick and weird, and we're gonna hurt you? Like, why can't
they be more like Devil's Rejects?
Yeah, that right.
Right now, they're kind of like the Oddities.
Yeah, they are like the Oddities, but so it's goofy. It's like,
but if they were more like Devil's Rejects, it would be a lot scarier.
Yeah, right.
So they need guns.
It's not serious enough. It doesn't work. Doesn't work for me. And he hasn't done anything in the ring that's made me go, wow, that's so wonderful, or who cares? Like, this was a great match. Just like some of the other people, like if they're goofy, okay, because if they come out and have a good match, at least there's that. You know what I mean? But.
Massage the baloney.
Massage the baloney. So everything hangs on the balance of Daniel Bryan's concussion. And you don't want him to get hurt. I mean, Sidney Crosby, when I had my concussion, I was so worried, and I was like, what is going on with me? I went to crazy lengths to like look up concussion stuff and find out about other people and look up sports people with it.
And called Sidney Crosby.
Sidney Crosby, you'd be looking at his stuff, and it would be like 3 months later, they were like, he's finally ready to come back, and like news posting, Sidney Crosby skates with the team, and then the next day it was like Sidney Crosby is gone again, and it was like
on stretcher
because he skated and then was like, oh, and then I can't do this, and he immediately felt problems the next day after skating that practice, thinking he was okay, and then it was if you fast forward this story and everything I'm talking about, he skated at 1 year. 1 month and 15 days later, after every month them being like, he's coming back.
And concussions are so weird like that. Like, remember when Shawn Michaels faked his concussion back in the mid-90s, and everyone bought it, including me?
Yeah.
They brought like the oxygen mask out and everything, and like they're like, give him some air, Shawn, are you okay?
Yeah, it seemed like
he looked fine in the match, and then like he like went like this, and then he kind of just fell over, and the ref didn't even notice for a second. It looked really believable.
It was really well done. It was like, oh man, what just happened? Like
everyone bought it because concussions can do that. They can just sneak up on you and just take you out.
Yeah, it's very hard to explain, but it's bizarre and it's horrible. It was horrible. I immediately felt bad for anybody. I felt bad for Sidney Crosby, and I hated it. I was like, good, he's hurt again, but I hope that guy never gets another concussion because I'm scared for him if he does. Yeah. Mark Savard can't play hockey anymore. Is at home, forgets the days of the week still. And this is
Chris Benoit murdered his family, and
right. And it makes you crazy when you have it, because I'm at home angry that I can't do things, and nobody understands. And about, you know what I mean, I'm like, oh, I don't feel like getting up and doing stuff. When I was trying to take care of my son Gavin, and he'd get mad, or I'd be mad, I'd get angry at him. I'd get angry that I just couldn't do things. I was mad, like someone screaming, I couldn't play a video game because I was too distracted. It was messed up, man. You don't want to get these concussions. The younger you are, the better. Dolph Ziggler, to have another one, he needs to take a while now, which is unfortunate. But you know what? They were burying him anyway, so why not come back, hopefully rejuvenated?
Yeah.
And who knows? And the thing is, there's got to be a break for Daniel Bryan at some point with this going on, where he needs to rest at some point. This is very similar to Stone Cold almost.
But Stone Cold had his fame cemented before this happened, I'd say.
Well, I think Daniel Bryan's really close too. This is very
actually no, unless you're talking about the Owen Hart.
I'm talking
injury.
about the Owen Hart neck thing.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, this is very similar.
And that's what, and it's eerily similar. I think this is a little bit later. I think Stone Cold's thing was around SummerSlam, right?
Well, no, still Stone Cold
after.
only won the Intercontinental title at that time.
Yeah. Well, you're right, but he had already wrestled Bret Hart in that match at WrestleMania 13.
But he lost.
I know, but he's at that point he turned for sure that night, and the crowd was behind him fully. And the Intercontinental belt meant more back then.
It did.
And Daniel Bryan, yes, he's won the title already. So I mean, you know what I mean? He's
so it's a little further along.
It's different, but it's very similar.
Very similar, though. Very, very similar. Because he hasn't had that title reign.
Right, and unless he doesn't make it to Mania, and then it's not similar because he didn't make it at all. And it's also similar, I guess, to Shawn Michaels, because Shawn Michaels really had to just suck it up and get them to WrestleMania to complete the storyline. And will Daniel Bryan be able to do that? Now, with a back injury, you can do that, even the immense pain that Shawn Michaels was in. You know, you can always say, screw it, if a disc slips, whatever, and we'll see what happens with surgery.
Even Edge had his last match when he wasn't supposed to.
Right. But with your brain, that's different. You can die. Things can happen. You could be permanently screwed up.
Don't mess with the noggin.
Yeah, leave it alone. Let it sit. I played hockey for another hour after I got mine, which is ridiculous. And my head felt like an oven the next day. And I was like...
Sounded like a can of spray paint when you shook it.
Even when I shake my head now, I hear this weird... It's bizarre. It's almost like it's something wrong. I think it's all just anxiety and the fight or flight in your mind. Your brain gets really worried that something's happened. So there's all these defense mechanisms that heighten everything, and you think things are wrong, and things are
brain
wrong.
pees the pants, and then the pants get moist.
Yeah, right. That's what happens. And that's... When you're younger, you can get waffled, and then you don't feel good for a week or two, and you get right back out there, it seems like. But the older you get, stuff happens, and I don't know, it's different. So hopefully Daniel Bryan's
don't get
okay.
old.
There's the key. Sorry. Don't get old. But anyway, so hopefully Daniel Bryan's okay. What do you guys think? Will he make the Rumble? Let me know in the comments below. Let us know what you think. You can tweet my Twitter at Joe Cronin Show on Twitter. Give us a call at 339-226-6610 and leave your voicemails so that we can play them and answer them. I got a lot of voicemails, but they were all bizarre. Some people yelling and somebody beating his wife up, I think. But no, we got a pretty good amount that are pretty good. So I'm going to record those and get your last voicemails in before I do a voicemail episode. I'm going to clean up all the voicemails. And then once I do that, once we hear all the voicemails of the last 2 weeks, then I'm going to be doing a weekly voicemail response so that we're up to date. You know what I mean? So
finally
that you're not...
Finally get a hold of this, because right now it's out of control.
Right, it is out of control. So that way you're not like, hey, last night on Raw was great. Remember when, oh my God, I couldn't believe that Cody and Goldust got together. You know, you're like, wait a minute, that was like 19 weeks ago.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, we get so many voicemails, and we don't really have the time to go through them once they get backed up. And we messed up. They got backed up, so now we got to clean house and then start anew, start fresh.
So I will go through them, find all the ones that are relevant to answer, or anything we can even, and I'll put them all up. I'll answer them all, go all through them, and then
is Batista coming back? When do you think Batista's coming back? I
think I'm gonna do it for Sundays. By the way, is my goal is to make the Sunday voicemails or something like that, and that way you get all week long.
Well, what about church?
Well, screw them. Hey, if you can bring the phone to church and stick the little thing in your ear, they won't hear you.
Oh,
you can go with your parents, or your brother, or your wife, whoever drags you there. You stick the little thing in your right ear. Make sure it's not the one they're next to you with. And you play it off. You get one of those real ugly ones, so it looks like a hearing aid. You know, like, oh, God, like, oh, I just want to hear what the priest has to say. Praise Jesus. Meanwhile, you're listening to Joe Cronin talk about, killing babies. So, anyway, or talking about wrestling, I guess it would be.
There you go.
The Nature Boy.
That's more accurate.
Right. Once again, the sponsors. So, anyway, youtube.com/Joe Cronin Show. If you're watching, if you like this, subscribe. Click the subscribe button. We do this a couple times a week. This is State of the WWE number 17. State of the WWE. September, October, November. Turned 6 months old today. That's what it was. 6 months old. Can you believe that? 6 months we've been doing this. Half a year.
Wow.
Half a year took us. We got 17. 17 State of the WWEs. Not bad. And I'm glad you guys were all here for it. By the way, if you ever like any of the sponsors and the videos that are playing, click on those and let's make me 10 cents a click. How about that? And make we got to get Chris paid too here, so let's do this. We're also on Ustream. We're on Ustream. We're on YouTube. We're on Twitch TV as well, Justin.tv or Twitch, either one. I'm actually working on getting the site converted from the Justin TV over to just the Twitch. But you got to email the people over there at Twitch and get it dealt with that way.
It's a whole to-do.
It's bullshit. But I'm doing it. So we can be on there because I think they're going to take off. I know it's right now it's primarily video games. You're watching video game play on there. And I am going to be doing something where I play WWE 2K and all that stuff on Twitch to make it a little more themed with what they're into over there at Twitch. But that way we can get on Xbox and the DVR stuff and everything. And that's about it. I think we're done. What else do we get to say? We got Royal Rumble, Elimination Chamber, WrestleMania. What's going to happen? We don't know. We're talking about Batista filling Daniel Bryan's spot earlier. I don't know. That would drive me nuts. Because, see, Batista will be exciting for like a few seconds. And then I'll immediately going back to like, I was happy when he left, and now he's back again. The only thing I like about Batista is I know he's got the same views as us, which is like he would like to see a more of an adult program.
Yeah, that's why him and Lesnar could work as a program if they do it right. But
yeah.
It doesn't look... The numbers don't add up for that for some reason.
It doesn't.
When you look at their dates.
But you're right. It doesn't really.
It's still possible. It doesn't make their dates don't make it impossible. It just makes it unlikely.
It's just got to be The Undertaker has to wrestle Brock Lesnar. I mean, I don't know what else could happen.
I could eat my balls and it could happen, but
imagine if they brought back somebody you never expected to face The Undertaker. They really shocked us.
Like Paul Bearer.
Oh yes, my life insurance claim. Oh!
It's just Hornswoggle behind him, operating him like a puppet.
No, it's really Paul Bear who collected on his $3 million life insurance policy, and he's back.
I own a boat now.
Oh man, and he just comes out of the urn. No, he
comes into the urn.
All right, guys.
Undertaker drinks it.
This was State of the WWE. Thanks for sticking around and watching on the channel. Goodbye.